Cooked with Shack is sponsored in part by Prairie Meats, your local store that offers different cuts of meats featuring deli and grocery, event catering, the smokehouse, and more. 2326 Miller Avenue and in the College Park Mall or prairiemeats.ca. Prairie Meats, the taste families love. Sponsored in part by Sask Pork, online at saskpork.com for consumer information, industry news, and special events. And put porkonyourfork.com for recipes. Sask Pork, demonstrating our commitment to our animals, communities, and customers.
Hey, I'm Shaq from Rock 102. I'm not a chef, and I didn't go to any fancy cooking school. I'm just a regular guy that likes to cook. Welcome to Cooked with Shaq. I'm Shaq, he's Harrison, and today we've got something that a lot of listeners have been asking me about, and that is we haven't done a chicken recipe for a long time, and I was thinking about it. You're right, we've done a lot of pork, we've even done some fish, we've done a little seafood, we've done some beef, but we haven't done a chicken recipe. So we have got a chicken recipe like you've never tasted before in your life. You're gonna love this. And well, if you're dieting, you might want to just moderation, you know what I mean? Everything in moderation. So we're basically going to do this. We are going to stuff a chicken breast with mushrooms and cheese and a whole lot of butter. And then we're going to take that chicken breast and we're going to wrap it in bacon. Whoa. And then we're going to fry the thing off, stick it in the oven, and then to top it off, we are going to cover it in mushroom cream sauce. Oh, does that sound good? I hope it turns out, because this will be the first time I've ever made it. Anyhow, a couple of things before we get going, though. Our Almighty Voice is the music that you're going to be hearing throughout the episode. The album is called All for One, and as I say, we like to showcase as much local talent as we possibly can on Cooked with Shaq. These guys are from Prince Albert, so when you can get the chance to get their CD, do so. It is a good one. One other thing, too, is that, can you believe this, Harrison? We have been doing Cooked with Shaq now for 47 episodes. 47? Now, we do one new episode a month, so do the math on that. We have been doing Cooked with Shaq for 1 month plus 4 years. Wow. We have been doing this.
Where's the time gone?
And we love it. I mean, I love cooking for all of our fans, and thank you to everybody who watches Cooked with Shaq every day, whether it's on whatever day you watch it on. We just love doing it for you. And we also have something very special because our 50th episode is coming up really quick. So we have got something planned that you are not going to believe. We haven't started planning it yet, but we're going to get to it as soon as we can.
Oh, it's going to be big. It's going to be big. Oh, yeah.
All right, let's get to this. Let's go to the shrimp. No, not the shrimp, sorry. The mushroom, cheese, stuffed, bacon wrapped chicken breast.
That's quite the name.
That's going to be a mouthful, too. All right, so let's get to this. We're going to start off with our chopper. Now, I've had a lot of people asking me, where do you get your chopper from? Unfortunately, the chopper that I have is no longer, it can't be bought, at least not that I know of, here in Saskatoon at the place that I usually buy.
It's the Shaq Signature Series.
Right, but you can buy a similar chopper in department stores. So if you can get one, great. If you can't, just chop up everything by hand. It's real simple. Just don't cut your fingers off or anything. All right, so we're going to start it off with the stuffing, okay? We're going to get our, make sure that our frying pan is getting nice and hot. We're going to take one onion, one small onion, or half of a larger onion. Okay, and we're just going to stick that in the chopper right now. Just like that. We're going to toss in a clove of garlic. We have got, what else? Oh, of course, the mushrooms. We're going to take...
big mushrooms.
Not a whole ton of mushrooms here. We just want to get it all chopped in there so that it's got some good consistency. We don't want to overdo it. So we're going to pop in maybe 4 large mushrooms. Let's do, I think that's 4 altogether. All right, so that's good. We're gonna take a half a celery stick, okay? Just chop it up a little bit just so that the chopper doesn't have to work so hard. All right, you ready?
I'm
Harrison,
ready.
let's give us some chopping music. This isn't going to take very long. We want it kind of coarsely chopped because it is a stuffing, okay? So here we go. And go. Hoi, 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 hoi. Ah, done. Just like that, see? That is exactly the consistency that we want. It's kind of coarsely chopped. It's not too coarse so that you can't stuff it in the chicken. You want it to be exactly like that. So, go to our frying pan. We're gonna take about a 1/4 cup of butter. All right, get that in there. We're gonna crank this baby right up. Now we want the butter not only to, of course, keep anything from sticking, but we want to make sure that you get that nice buttery taste in there too. Like I said, this is not a recipe for the dieters out there, but if you have it once in a while, you'll be fine. Okay, so that butter's getting nice and melted, and we're gonna put the whole thing in. Now you don't want to brown this. You just want to make sure that everything is kind of cooked through so that it's nice and soft. And there you go, so you get all that butter in there. Now we want to salt it up just a little bit. You can salt it up at the end too, just in case you feel that you don't have enough seasoning in. Don't over salt because you can't take it out, remember that. Pepper. Want to throw some pepper in? As much as you want. Pepper's the kind of thing where you can just keep on going.
I like a lot of pepper.
Yeah, kind of gives it that nice twangy taste. Oh, and speaking of twang, we want a little bit of twang from some apple cider vinegar. Not a whole lot though. Okay, this just also, I'm not a big fan of putting apples in a stuffing. You know, a lot of people like to put cranberries and apples and things like that in stuffing. I'm not a huge fan of that. I don't mind it. What I would rather do is use a little apple cider vinegar, and then you get that zing, but you also get a wee bit of an apple taste too.
I've actually been using that quite a bit.
And it's
lately
good.
in a lot of my recipes that I haven't shown you yet.
Oh, you know what?
Huh.
That's something we can do maybe in our 50th anniversary.
Well, I have a few surprises when I'm in the kitchen. I haven't really shown you my tricks yet, Jack.
Okay, all right. I'm looking forward to it. Let's do that. We'll give Harrison James a segment on Cooked with Shaq during the 50th anniversary special, and we'll see how you do it.
It'll definitely be special.
All right, so this is all looking good right now. Oh, one other thing real quick too. We want to get a little dill in there. So you can use different kinds of herbs if you want. Thyme is always a really good one with mushrooms. Mushrooms and thyme, it's a love affair. They love each other and they taste great together. But what we're gonna do today is dill, because I love dill with mushrooms, and especially with chicken. And once we get to the cream sauce too, there's nothing like dill in cream sauce. All right, so just a quick chop on that. I would say, you know what, you can put as much dill in there as you want. I would say probably that's maybe 3 tablespoons of fresh dill. You can use the dried dill if you want, but this is something that's going to be cooked up fairly quickly. So you want that freshness to be in with this stuffing. You know what? We're going to let this go for a little bit. We're going to come back on Cooked with Shaq. What we'll do is we'll combine it with some breadcrumbs and some cheese, and we're going to start stuffing some chicken breasts on Cooked with Shaq next.
Cooked with Shaq is sponsored in part by Prairie Meats, your local store that offers different cuts of meats featuring deli and grocery, event catering, the smokehouse, and more. 2326 Miller Avenue and in the College Park Mall, or prairiemeats.ca. Prairie Meats, the taste families love.
Welcome back. It's Cooked with Shaq. Today we are doing some chicken. We're going to be stuffing some chicken breasts with mushroom and cheese and Italian breadcrumbs and all kinds of great stuff. And then we're going to bacon wrap it, and then we're going to saute that, put it in the oven, and then we're going to cover it with a mushroom cream sauce. Oh, this I can taste it right now.
Wow.
You know, I just had a taste of this, and it is awesome. And this is the stuffing that we're going to stuff the chicken breast with. So first off, let's just get this into a bowl. What we need to do though is we have to let this cool off a wee bit, because we're going to be putting cheese in there, and we don't want it to completely melt out right up off the bat. So again, it's a stuffing, so we want to throw in a little bit of breadcrumbs. This is just regular breadcrumbs. This has a little bit of Italian seasoning in. You can get different seasoned breadcrumbs if you want. If not, you can get panko breadcrumbs, whatever you want to do. I would say probably maybe about a quarter cup. You don't have to have too much in there. Let's go maybe half of a quarter, so an eighth of a cup, and let's see how it works out. We don't want it to be too stiff. All right, so we're going to move that around just a little bit. We'll add a little bit more, because we want it to stick together. It is a stuffing, right? Now, we haven't put any hot sauce in there.
Well, I saw it sitting there. I'm like, I'm just waiting.
You want lots in there? You want to just keep it?
Of course I do.
All right, let's give it a shot. Now, this is totally optional. We just like to put, hot sauce in just about everything we make on Cooked with Shaq.
Pretty
So
much.
we're going to just put a little bit in there. Well, a lot's in your world anyway. Okay, so that's ready to go. We're just going to throw a little bit more. It's just a touch more salt in there, not a whole lot. Now, always remember to taste. Hey, what do I tell you? Every time, taste.
Oh, I think you take care of that every time.
I get to taste anyway.
Because like pile of spoons there.
That has got it.
I'm sure it is.
We're going to, I think it's also cool enough that we can put the cheese in. So this is just Monterey Jack cheese. You can use whatever cheese you want. Something that's got a good melting factor. So even if you want to use mozzarella, you can do that as well too. But this is Monterey Jack. I love Monterey Jack. It's got a nice bite to it. So that's, again, I don't know, that's about a quarter cup, maybe a half a cup. We are going to just move that over there to cool off just a little bit. We've got our chicken cutting board. Don't use a wooden cutting board if you're going to be doing anything with chicken, because it's hard to clean and you don't want the chicken juice getting in there and getting all kinds of bacteria. Always use a plastic or Teflon type of cutting board with chicken, because you don't want that nasty stuff in there. Okay, so here we have some nice chicken breasts. Now, the plumper the better, because we're going to be slicing a hole in there, a pocket in there to stick the stuffing in, right? So you want to have a very sharp knife and something that's easily usable. Like, you wouldn't be able to use something like this unless you're really good with a knife, okay? So start off with something almost like a filleting knife, you know, with the fish filleting?
That's right. Yeah.
So we are going to take the breast, start on the fat part right here, and you want to just kind of move your knife, or stick your knife all the way in, and then move it to the sides, and then turn around and come this way. Try not to go all the way through, because then all your stuffing's going to leak out, and that's not good. So we're going to start here and work our way all the way to the end as far as we can go. You can feel the blade there. Move it over a little bit. Also make a generous enough hole in the pocket that you can put the stuffing. You don't want to go all the way in or all the way to the edges, because you don't want to cut through. So again, come all the way back this way. Little tough. You can also get your butcher to do this too. If you don't think that you can do this, just go to the butcher and say, hey buddy. Or
just come over to Shaq's house.
There, now we've got a, yeah, sure, I'll do that for you.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna get these other ones going here, and then we're gonna start stuffing. Okay, now we're gonna get to the stuffing. This can get messy. You can take a spoon and you can grab the stuffing, you can ram it in there and do all that, but I thought, you know what? Why make cooking hard on yourself, right? Work on a way that you can make it easy and fun. Now, I came across an old, this was a syringe that we use for basting steaks and roasts and injecting flavor and all that stuff into it, right? So anyhow, what I did, it wasn't working anymore. And so I took a knife and I just cut the top off where the needle should go. So I thought, you know what, this might work as a stuffing injector.
course.
So now, if you go like that, and you take a little ice cream scoop of some sort or some kind of a spoon, and you just kind of jam it in there. Now this could take a little bit here. So this might take a little bit of. Hang on, just hang on. No, it works. It does.
Now
it works
what you're
like
doing,
a hot
you could just be stuffing the chicken right now.
Well, that's very true, but it's
sorry,
not fun.
No, I'm gonna let you do your thing. This looks cool.
It's not as fun as what as it could be. Now, maybe the spoon I'm using is not the greatest idea. Maybe I could use a smaller spoon. Okay, see, now it's loaded up. We're loaded up now.
Yeah.
So watch this. We take the chicken, we take that, we just insert it like this, and watch, and then it goes, and it's in there.
Actually,
done.
Okay,
see,
okay.
You see what I'm saying now?
Okay, now I'm getting it.
Now we just have to work on the actual loading of the gun. Is what we're.
Ice cream scoop is really the best thing.
Maybe that's not a good idea. You know what? Let me try something else. I'm going to try just a little spoon. Maybe that'll work better. Oh yeah, that works a lot better. Yeah, we can get that rolling. Okay, so this might take a little while. Ladies and gentlemen, just talk amongst yourselves. And okay, now we're ready, good to go again. Yeah. See? Now you only need which one did I do?
Fire in the hole
this
here.
One.
Fire in the hole.
They only need two each. Two shots. See? Look at that. Hey?
That's actually perfect.
Look at how stuffed that is. All right? Yeah. So again, maybe grab yourself some popcorn, go to the kitchen, make a sandwich or something, go to the bathroom if you have to. We're just going to continue on stuffing these chicken breasts, okay? With my little fancy-dancy thing that, it works good, honest, it works good. Okay, hold on. We're down to the last one, the last squirt. Okay. So you got to hear this because it just sounds so good going into this chicken breast. Here, have a listen to this. Just listen. See, look at that. Now you have got beautifully stuffed chicken breasts. They're all set to go. Our next trick is we are going to be bacon wrapping these babies and sticking them in the frying pan, in the oven, and then the mushroom cream sauce. Hang around on Cook with Shaq. You don't want to miss this.
Sponsored in part by Sask Pork, online at saskpork.com for consumer information, industry news, and special events. And put porkonyourfork.com for recipes. Sask Pork, demonstrating our commitment to our animals, communities, and customers.
Welcome back. It's Cooked with Shaq, and because of a lot of audience response asking us how come we haven't done a chicken recipe for a long time, we thought we would do a chicken recipe for this episode. Yeah. A nice, healthy chicken breast. Not so much. Well, it's a healthy part of the chicken, right? But we're actually going to be covering it in bacon and then covering it with mushroom cream sauce. So it's not going to be as healthy as chicken breast could be, but boy, is it going to be good. So we've got our stuffed chicken breasts all ready to go with mushroom and cheese and dill, and there's breadcrumbs in there as well too, and onions and celery and lots of butter. So we want to get the bacon ready to roll. So we want to use a thinner slice cut bacon because if it's too thick, then it won't wrap properly. So what you do is you just organize 3 pieces of bacon, just like that, okay? All right, take whatever one you want to go with first. Here's your chicken breast. You start maybe about 2/3 down, and then you do the one side first. Take all that bacon, wrap it around like that. Look at that.
This is beautiful.
Then you start on this side and you go the other way. And then you move it that way and you keep on going.
Only 3 pieces? That's all we need?
Oh, look at that. Look at that little pouch of happiness. A pouch of happiness right there.
It really is.
All right, so you do the same thing. You can get a little assembly line going in the kitchen because I know everybody would want to get their hands on this. Okay, so let's just move that. Last but not least, Harrison gets this one.
What?
We only have 2 pieces of bacon left.
How do you have a shortage of bacon in your house?
I don't know. I have no idea. That's a very good question. We'll have to check on that. All right, so that's okay though, because this is a smaller breast. This is smaller breast.
This is not in my contract. All right.
We're gonna just do that, And then we're gonna move that over there, and that one over there. See, that looks just as nice.
Well, there's a big gap in the middle with no bacon, but
that's a smaller package of happiness right there. All right, so now what we want to do, we could, if we wanted to, go directly into the oven with these, but let's saute them off first and get some of that crispness and flavor going. Right. So we're gonna do that right now. Go over to the frying pan, nice hot frying pan. Listen to that. Ooh. Listen to that. That is the lovely sounds of bacon frying right there. Oh, check that out. Oh, yeah. All right, so these are all nicely caramelized. Look at that, eh?
That is great.
Beautiful. That's exactly what you want them to look like right there. You got that nice caramelization. Get them on the cookie sheet, and then get them into the oven at 375 for 30 minutes, okay? And then get ready, because we are gonna be making a mushroom cream sauce. It is gonna be unbelievable. On Cooked with Shaq, it's coming up next. How's that? It's got some good tone to it.
Great.
We're about to do some chopping on Cooked with Shaq. Welcome back. We are making a bacon-wrapped, mushroom-stuffed chicken breast. And we're gonna top it off with an incredible mushroom cream sauce. And we need to do some chopping for this because we got the big old mushrooms, and we're gonna saute those up. Now, whatever you do, when we sauteed the bacon-wrapped chicken breasts, we left all the fat in the pan, because that, my friends, is liquid gold, okay? So instead of using butter, we are going to use the bacon fat for our cream sauce.
I'm okay with that.
I'm sure you are. Here we go.
Okay.
So, before we get that back on the burner and get things rolling, let's cut up these mushrooms. All right, ready to do some little chopping?
All right, chopping music.
All right.
Get ready.
Here we go. And we'll 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and done. Bingo. Wow, that is some record chopping, I think. Okay, whew. Worked up a sweat on that one. That's good, what do you call that, calisthenics?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Something like that.
You work up a sweat? It's exercise, is that what they call that? Exercise?
I don't know, I'm just smelling the bacon.
All right, let's get that bacon fat back on the element, get it all heated up, and let's get the mushrooms in there as well, too. All right. Now, what we want to do is cook these mushrooms down so that they've shrunk a little bit. We want them to be cooked all the way through. We want to do a little bit of salt. We'll salt them up a little bit later on. We want to get some dill in there too. So a little bit more dill. And we'll just chop that up nice too. Again, you want a nice coarse, or I should fine chop on this one, because it is a sauce. But then again, it doesn't matter. It's all going to the same place anyway, right? And we'll get that dill in there just like that. Very simple sauce to do. We started off, you could either use butter or oil or whatever you want, just to get the mushrooms going and sauteing. Now, mushrooms are like sponges. They soak up flavor all over the place. So they're gonna soak up the flavor of the bacon. That's why I wanted to use the bacon fat. Plus, they also will soak up the flavor of the dill once the dill starts to get heated up too. And then what we're gonna do is once these mushrooms start to render down a little bit, we're going to drop in some beef broth, because beef and mushrooms, well, goes great together, right? And that's also going to further cook them a little bit more. And once that's all done, we're gonna drop in the cream, let it sit for a couple of minutes. Whammo, we are done. And we're gonna just let these go for just a little bit. All right, so these mushrooms are just about ready to go. Oh, look at that, the bacon grease and the dill. Okay, so they're starting, as you can see, the mushrooms, when we started off, they looked like there was a whole lot more mushrooms, but they reduced down because they start soaking in all these flavors. So now what we're going to do is take a little bit of beef broth, not a whole bunch, just stuff that you can buy at the grocery store. This is about 1/4 cup. I don't think you're going to need that much, but we're just going to put a little bit in there just for, let's go a little bit more, just for some further cooking of the mushrooms. Keep it on a nice high heat so you can reduce that down, because that reduction is going to be a nice additive and flavor to the cream sauce as well, too. Okay, so as you can see, look at that. It's already starting to thicken up. Okay, now we're going to take a little bit of salt, not a whole bunch, a little bit of pepper as well, too. And that should be good. Now, we're not going full-on high-test cream on this one. We're just going to go the half and half, okay? So, like I said, it is a healthy recipe.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I'll have seconds.
Okay, so now we're going to take the cream, and this is, what, a 1/2 quart of cream. So we're just going to put the whole thing, we're going to put the whole thing in now. Well, that's about 2/3 of that. Let's see how that turns out.
We'll end up using it all.
And so we're just going to let that go for a bit. So what you want to do now is just let that reduce for probably just a couple of minutes. It'll start to boil, and just keep on, make sure you stir it so it doesn't burn, and let everything just kind of come together, and it'll be all just beautiful. Look at that mushroom cream sauce bubbling away. Isn't that beautiful? You see how the cream is kind of reduced down a little bit. It's not really, really thick, but you don't want it really, really thick. You want it just to be able to, when you put it over top of the chicken breast, you just want it to be, just envelop the entire chicken breast. If it's too thick, then it gets kind of, you miss a spot. Whereas when it's liquidy like this, a little bit more liquidy, it gets all into the nooks and crannies and all that good stuff. Okay, so let's get down to business here. This is what the finished product looks like, folks. Check that out. That is the mushroom stuffed, bacon wrapped chicken breast right there. Now I'd like to cut one of these babies open here. I'm just gonna turn down the sauce so it doesn't, let's get one of those off. And now move it over here real quick.
Right.
And then we're gonna cut this thing and let's see what happens. Oh, look how moist that is.
Yeah.
And check that out.
Oh, yeah.
Is that not beautiful or what? Hey? Look at that. We're going to get that right on the plate. Just moist and juicy. And so you can see all that now. If that's not good enough for you, we are going to top it off with this beautiful mushroom cream sauce. Let's just get some mushrooms in there first. Just kind of put those right out front like that. And take some of the cream sauce. See what I mean? How you can just lay it over top and it gets into all the nooks and crannies. Check that out. We're gonna, let's get fancy.
Get some green on there.
That's a little garnish.
Yeah.
With a little piece of dill. And there you go, folks. That is mushroom and cheese stuffed bacon wrapped chicken breasts with mushroom cream sauce. You wanted chicken? You got chicken on Cooked with Shaq. Thanks for joining us once again. Thanks to Almighty Voice, All for One, the name of the album. That's some of the music you've been hearing throughout the episode. Remember, our 50th episode is coming up in just a couple of months. We're working on it. We're working on a big one. So hang in there and join us next time on Cooked with Shaq.
You will see.
Cooked with Shaq is sponsored in part by Prairie Meats, your local store that offers different cuts of meats featuring deli and grocery, event catering, the smokehouse, and more. 2326 Miller Avenue and in the College Park Mall or prairiemeats.ca. Prairie Meats, the taste families love. Sponsored in part by Sask Pork, online at saskpork.com for consumer information, industry news, and special events. And put porkonyourfork.com for recipes. Sask Pork, demonstrating our commitment to our animals, communities, and customers.